So we are planning to get the whatever we did in the from the console. We are trying to convert into the kind of automation tool for creating the resources, the services on the AWS cloud. So for that, the prerequisites what we went through yesterday was like you have to install a tool in your laptop or like wherever you are running it. If you are running from EC2, you should have that this Terraform. If you're running inside Jenkins or like some kind of usually in the real time, we will be running. I mean to say in the projects, we will run from the like any CI/CD server or from kind of GitLab server. We will run this. So we need to install this Terraform, and the one of the most important is when we talk about Terraform, we ask a version. Current version what we had is like 1.6.x blah blah something. Even like we don't remember much about this 1.x. I can say that in the interviews also. They did a lot of changes. As I told, after zero Terraform is like you can see two types of changes they had. 0.13 before, 0.13 after. They did many changes 0.13. That's sometimes they'll expect in the interviews one thing. Once you have this tool, we'll be writing the some kind of declarative code, as I said, not the programmatic language thing. This is the declarative language. The files will end with the terraform.tf code, these kind of files. So when you're running this terraform command, it will scan the current folder for these files and it will load some kind of values. Then it will go to the target environment. So this total TF internally will be converted to the Go language again. Internally, it will convert to the Go language. Keep that. That will call the API that it will interact with AWS. So when you are using any automation tool, it can be Python, Java language, or anything. When you are running it, the first question is from where you are running it. If you are running from your local, you have to go with the access key and secret key. This is important. So from your laptop or local. So same if you're running these tools or programs from like you want to provision something, then from within a cloud, go with the IAM role. This is a very important keywords you should remember. When you're running Terraform or Python to interact with any language, to interact with the cloud, you should have these two credentials, access key, secret key, then IAM role. IAM role internally will use, you remember I was telling it, internally will use STS. This STS called temporary keys. You can get this temporary keys. You have to run a command, one command, that is the keep this, that very important. So where you are running and which tool you are using, which language and that is important. Currently we are using Terraform. Terraform mainly used, it's kind of in the cloud for AWS cloud to provision the resources, to create the resources like S3, EC2, load balancer, RDS, cache, SQS, whatever VPC, whatever the components you created, right? To create all those components, to update those components in case if you want to destroy, we use this tool. So that is the one important. So usually keep this command when you configure these in your laptop or within EC2 when you are running it, you will have IAM role. We use one command. Please, this is very important. Like in the troubleshooting time, like if I want to know something troubleshooting, we use this command. So to know which keys instead of going to the console, right? As I said yesterday, every cloud provider has one CLI tool. Every cloud provider has one CLI tool. AWS has one kind of somewhere I kept it. Every cloud provider has one CLI tool. Other than Terraform, AWS has the name itself AWS CLI tool. Like Azure has their own, like AZ, and Google has, I remember, G Cloud. These are the some CLI tools. Every cloud provider will have major cloud providers. So with this tool, I'll be running one command to know which keys I'm using, which user keys. This is the one. This is a good command we use most of the times. AWS get STS get credentials or STS. It's STS get credentials. Yeah. STS get credentials. You have to run this command. So if you're running in your laptop, you should have this CLI tool in your laptop. AWS CLI tool. This is, we will be calling as AWS CLI. So let me download this in my laptop. For Terraform, it's not a mandatory. It's not a mandatory for Terraform to have AWS CLI. But when I'm using some kind of credentials, which credentials I'm using it, and whether it has a permissions or not, so we can get that ARN of that user. Install in Windows. Go here. I think it was installed previously. So let me download this. We'll have a MSI version. Microsoft installer, I think. Yeah, we did last time. It's not a binary like Terraform, extract it and then keep it one place. No, you do next, blah, blah, this tool. So you should have this tool mandate in your laptop. Like this. So let me show you that. So some basics, please. These are core important basics. As I said, you should have Terraform tool to interact with automation, and then to know which credentials we are using, you should have AWS CLI tool. With this command, you can come to know that which credentials you are using, whether IAM role or username, something. In my laptop, let me run that command. AWS STS get caller identity. So please, this is not your Windows command. This is, I have installed AWS CLI with the I have downloaded the binary. I already installed it. In your laptop, just do that installation. And one more, as I said, these tools, when you get a laptop, by default, you should have it. Thumb rule. Don't wait for something. If you need a support team help, immediately you have to raise in a project. No one will tell you that have these tools. So I ran a command, AWS STS get caller identity. It gave me this report, which account, which user credentials you are using, whether IAM role or any like IAM user or the something. By seeing it, you can come to know this is the ARN, IAM service, and then the account ID. This is the user ID. So can you guys help me here? Uh, what is the security parameters needed in your laptop to interact from CLI to AWS?
Access key,
Yeah,
access key or secret key.
exactly. Access key, secret key. So what I did initial time when I was uploading to S3, let me get that credentials again. I have already generated it for root user. Let me generate again and then I'll configure it. These are the some core basics. What I For root user, right? You have to go here. For IAM users, you can go and then you can generate here directly. You can generate from any one user. Let me, for example, DevOps. Let me see that whether he has administrative permission. Yeah. If you go security credentials here, you can generate here for create access key thing. For root user, right, in the right side, you will have it. So in the organization, mostly we won't be using root user, as I said, right? So let me, we will have our own user, or sometimes you have to create a static user. That case, create access key, for example. So I'll be using AWS CLI, local code, application running on third party, running outside AWS. You plan to use this access key authentication. Okay. Your case, that's okay. Don't care. Let me see the CLI. Understand the recommendation. Use AWS Cloud CLI. They have recently given the AWS Cloud CLI also, like Google's CLI, Azure CLI. Go here. Say that Terraform purpose, for example, create access key. Copy this access key at one place. When you generate, when you create initial time user also, you will get this. So in the console, you can get the access key, but secret key you can't get it back once. Once you delete the secret key or access key, secret key, access key, that's it. It gone. You can't get the same access key, secret key back again until you store somewhere. So very important, if you are using access key security outside from cloud, there is a, in Google Cloud, there is one program is running very critical application that is accessing your AWS cloud. Obviously, it needed access key secret key, some kind of services to access it. By mistakenly, if you delete this access key secret key, again you have to generate and then you have to configure in the outside, like in the Google Cloud. Very important. You can see the access key, not the secret key. So you can deactivate, activate and all. You can do that for some time. Continue. That's okay. It is asking to download. You can deactivate and then let's say, for example, I don't want to use this access key secret key. For example, I'm suspecting that this keys has been someone like somewhere compromised it. So I can deactivate for some time. That's, you can see somewhere last used also this kind of timeline. Very important, please. We will have a sometimes to update the code, like somewhere and all. That is our job. We will write the Terraform code, right? Sometimes the Terraform code or some kind of, if you are using any YAML file somewhere, never ever, please, I have seen the people, they committed this secret key, access key, these keys. And please, please, I'm telling it, don't bring your company keys to outside. Don't bring these keys to outside. And then don't keep in your code by mistake any chance. They'll come to know easily. There are security tools, they'll use it. They'll come to know these keys where you are accessing and will get it. So never ever bring these company keys to outside. That is the one. And don't commit. Commit in the sense or save in the code. Don't save these keys in the code. Okay. There are some tools, some kind of code scanning tools are there. They'll scan this your code. If there is a kind of like this, they have this pattern. AWS has secret pattern. They will find out from your laptop, but you have to configure extra tools for that. They will tell you that you have some sensitive keys in your code. I cannot commit, I cannot save that code. So they'll reject you before itself. So for now, please, I'm telling it, the very important security practice is don't save access key secret keys in the code or don't store in somewhere. That is one objective. Good. So I got access key secret key. I need to configure this access key secret key in Terraform level also I can configure, or if I give to AWS CLI also, internally Terraform will use AWS CLI credentials. These things. So what I mean is here, I'm running one AWS CLI command, like this command. To run AWS CLI command from my local, not in AWS, not within EC2. EC2 obviously a role. When I'm running AWS CLI command, by default, in my local, it will look for credentials. What credentials? Obviously these two. For these two keys. Where it will look, let's say, for example, you copied a movie in the D drive. You know that if I ask you that where you copied, you will show that it is in D drive. Like that, AWS by default will look for these keys at one common place. This is very important. You should have as a cloud guy. Okay, like security group rule, you know, right? This you should know that. Where are the credentials? In your home directory, whichever you user, there will be one folder called .aws. Here, two files will get created. Credentials, and one more is the config. Config will have region name. Credentials will have access key secret key. So let me configure in my laptop. AWS. This is the command you have to use. Configure, run this command. It will ask you access key. It will ask you the secret key. Again, some region it will ask. this access key secret key are regional or global?
Global.
Because which service it has given is the IAM.
IAM.
So you can give like any reason you can access with this case. For now, like I'm giving it South one. So there will be two types of output. I remember JSON and table something. You can go with none also. No need to provide anything. Just do none. Cool. Now let me run this command again. Previously in my laptop, in this folder, this is very important. Please, they'll you need to like you will be working on this kind of folder from your laptop lot of times. Okay, in your home directory, in this folder earlier I had a root credentials. Now I did overridden that. I did overridden. So my DevOps user credentials will be there. How to know that? This is the same command. Can you guys see now? So where it is looking for the credentials is this in this folder. Let me show you that desktop, or you can go to the just cd enter, just cd enter. If you do cd enter, right, it will take you to without any space, any options. Do cd just enter. It will take you to the home directory here. Here you will have a folder called .aws. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Let's open ld.aws. Yeah. Here you see, right, this thing. So let me open this folder, cd dot, go inside that folder, lsf and ltr. So you have two files. Cat those files, open those files, cat config. You see right here, credentials config, this is the access key, secret key, and this is the region. So here is the very important, what information these files .aws will have is, there is a default keyword is there, right? This is called profile. Let's say I am interacting with one account now. Next, I wanted to interact second account. In that second account, I will have a one more user. For that account, I have to configure in my laptop. So obviously, right, keys and all for one account only. Let me do that again. I wanted to configure second account, for example. So when I'm doing it configure, I have to pass here name called profile. Profile equal to account to 2. Let's do. You see now? So I can configure now second account access key secret key credentials like this. You see that USF needs to enter. Now do again. Sorry, go into that folder. I'm inside that already folder. Just to cat those files. You see here, this is the second account. This is the first account. And do that config. You will have it here this thing. This is the first profile. This is the second profile. So if you don't, let's say for example, next time onwards, I wanted to use second account credentials. I have to pass this name, profile name. Let me tell you that some note, very important. From where AWS CLI will fetch the credentials in your home directory .aws here. How to configure multiple accounts? You have to use a concept called profiles. So keep this when I'm when we will be using the Terraform or CLI, somewhere you will have a profile name. So profile name means go to the AWS folder. From these files, pick those configuration. That is what it meaning. Any thoughts, questions you want to ask? Profiles are the one will separate multiple accounts or multiple users concept for that. To separate the credentials, you can think that. Okay, cool. So now Terraform internally, Terraform also will interact with the AWS cloud. AWS CLI also interact with the AWS from local From which folder it is picking the credentials is from this folder. Home directory dot AWS. It is also dot AWS folder. Here you have access key secret key. With this access key secret key will be there for a user. That user will have a policy. Whatever the policy it is, those resources you can interact here. You can do that activity. So since I have generated from DevOps user, this DevOps user has the admin policy. So admin policy will have the majority AWS read, write, delete kind of permissions it can have it. Hope you got the very important is how to configure. Please configure is your local default and one create a profile. That is what the lab says. So how to know that which credentials you are using? This is the command. AWS STS get credentials. This thing. If you want to know specifically, then you can pass it. Profile account to one or something like whatever the name you had given for that configure command, right? That profile you can pass. When you are using every time, at the end you can pass this profile name. This is the tool. So now I'll write the Terraform code. I'll write the Terraform code and I have my AWS account. So when you do this Terraform tool I have in my laptop, when you do Terraform related commands, creation or some kind of options will be there. Like for example, init, Terraform plan, Terraform apply. These two you can run n number of times, not a problem. This is very careful when you're running it. So sometimes it will delete also. Don't think only for create also. It will delete also some, for example. So you should be very careful when you're doing apply. Very important. These two you can do a number of times, not a problem. These two. Cool. So when you're running these commands, as I said, to interact with AWS, you are not interacting with console. You are interacting with API. API from where you are interacting local. It look for this folder in this folder. In case in this folder, if these credentials are not available, you will get an error. Thumb rule. Then we will see like where you are running it, which credential something. This and all you have to troubleshoot. You'll be getting this kind of tasks. That's what I mean. So let me go to a folder. I'll use one folder specifically for Terraform things. So you no need to be into this folder. By default, Terraform has intelligence to go to this folder. No need to be in this folder. No need to run these commands. You can run from anywhere. AWS also you can run from anywhere. cd just delete to the desktop. Yes. I'll create one folder code cd code. Yeah, I'll use this folder next further any if I'm modifying something under here. Okay, tf. Cool. So inside this tf, let me create a one simple like normal. I'm creating it. Notepad ec2.tf. Let's see. Yeah. So I'm running one CLI command. I did. Oh, it will. Yeah, get it. So please remember the extension of the file is like the TF file. I'm creating the TF file. And then this is the, I'm going to write in the notepad. So please, we don't use notepad to do this thing to make the Terraform related code and all. We don't write. We don't write on the notepad thing. We use one tool. Let me put it here. In your laptop, please have this tool as well. Any like Visual Studio. This is the more famous. There is one more also people will be using IntelliJ something tools. The most famous one is the Visual Studio Code. This is the tool we use to write the not only the Terraform code, like any YAMLs, as I said, right? Declarative Python, like something Go language, programmatic language, Go language, and declarative like YAMLs and all JSON. This is a good tool. Let me download Visual Studio Code. Please, as I said, no one will tell you that which tools to be installed. This is your job. get the laptop, install immediately these tools. Just go that it's EXEC. So you can do next, blah, blah. Okay. I just do double click on it. I accept using basic things. See, by default, it is going to the C somewhere folder, program files, blah, blah, C directory. If it is zip, you can install anywhere, right? Can you guys see here? What is this meaning?
Environment variable.
Enabling path.
So this Microsoft tool you can run, Visual Studio you can run from anywhere, right? Otherwise, you have to go to that folder, you have to start, right? Otherwise.
Right.
So add to path. This is very important. The some commands path. Install. Let it get installed. So we don't use a notepad kind of tools to write the any kind of YAML, TF, Python, blah, blah, shell script and all. This is the tool most famously used to do coding. Extracting files. So after you do, right, it will get launched. Other way around, what you can do is you run a command called, so let me cancel this. Let me close this file. Let me close this notepad file. So just run a command called code. When you do code is alias in the sense it's a binary command to start the VS Code. Do code dot something. Code dot means current folder. Oh my gosh. Do you need to open a new shell? New window. Sometimes if you updates path, right, you have to do cd start. Let me check first code is there. Oh, somewhere. I need to configure it. Let me see in the.
Remove the space.
This is just a code.
Code dot. There is a no space between dot and code.
No, it will open it, man. I regularly use it.
Set in environment variables and all.
Yeah, I thought the installer will do. That's okay. I'll get it done. This is not important. Sure. So you can search like this. You can get back it. Maybe cell. I have opened it. Let me see. The MS-DOS, MS CMD. Yeah, this is the guy. Git bash is not able to recognize, but CMD is able to recognize it. So it's already in the path. See, when I did a code command, it didn't throw any error. It opened this thing. This too. Okay. Cool. So let me open the Visual Studio Code. So we use this tool to do coding, to push the coding anything. And then let me open the folder. Desktop. Let me keep it this folder structure. Here. So trust the, like you will get notified or something. The like this, you will see the logo icon of the TF code. Usually this is how the VS Code will recognize. So VS Code has a very good, beautiful some tools, some extensions called. If you install those, when you type some kind of, let's say for example, I want to Terraform code, blah blah something, automatically it will prompt you the code related snippets and all. Then you do just enter, it will do auto filling and all. So for that, right, you have to install those extensions here. Just search for Terraform. Install whatever, like some of them Just install. Few of them install. Just install like top few of them, whichever comes. These are the HashiCorp company. These are the ones. Install it. It does the syntax check. If there is a mistake and all, it will do automatically. Now, let me go to that single page. So, now you should have a Terraform tool and then access key, secret key configuration in your laptop, in your home directory.aws folder, which is brought by AWS account. And then we are writing the code. This is the page we refer single time always. AWS EC2. Let me type Terraform. This is a single page we refer many times. So you see right here, providers HashiCorp. There are many providers will be there under HashiCorp. Many are there: Google provider, AWS, Azure, like the Kubernetes. Many are there. You see, right? These are all they love. If you click on it, it will take you to some kind of page here under individually coding references and all. Instead of that, what we do, like I search in the Google, we go to this page. Please, if you have to bookmark this page somewhere, we use regularly. This is the single page for any code references. Single page. So as I said, right, this is not some kind of like the programming language. Already there will be examples. Many examples will be there. You have to copy paste and then modify it according to our need, and then we will be applying this code. That is one. So they'll give a lot of examples here. So let's understand this code snippet, what it is. Let me see. Take this line. I went into this page. I searched with you can search like this, EC2 kind of keyword. I want to create S3 bucket. S3. Like you will get into the some page here, S3 bucket, like this. Click on this link and then copy this code, for example. Go back here, for example, s3.tf. Any file extension, you should start with this. Cool. So very important in the TF code, when you say resource means resource kind of keyword, it is going to create. Resource means.
So which cloud?
This is the one. Here you see, right? Next. This is
Yeah.
the name. This is the name here. The name here, it is starting, right? This syntax. By seeing this, you should know that which provider. This is called provider name. This is called some logical name. This you can have your own name. Like for example, test. This is the block. You will have a this is called resource block. In resource block, you will have something called provider and then the resource name. This is the some logical name we call name. It's your name is your choice. And then you will have it two flower brackets. In this bracket, you will have a like key value pair, something. So technically, what we call is this key value is called arguments. You no need to by heart these arguments, which argument I need to use. There are some mandatory argument, some of them optional. So which mandatory, which optional are, if you go little down right in the same page, I went into the S3 bucket. We will be referring this page a lot times. Anything. You see right here, argument reference something. Click on this. So you see right, optional, blah, 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 optional. They have like, so we will be copying this kind of keywords. Can you guys tell me, for S3, if you want to enable the website hosting, what is that concept is called?
Route 53. Right?
No, I wanted to convert S3 as a kind of Apache. We did run website, right? Instead of EC2, we did directly run on S3. No? What is that feature is called?
CloudFront.
Sorry?
CloudFront.
No, CloudFront is to copy the content from S3 to the edge regions. In S3, if you want to run HTML kind of website, what is that concept called in S3?
Static website.
Static. Yes.
Yeah, static website hosting. So somewhere you will have a somewhere you will have like the keyword static websiting host. This is for permissions, lifecycle rules, expiration, transition. You can search for the keyword also. Static website. Yeah, you see, right? This is some kind of configuration. Oh, this is extra resource. Okay. You don't by default in the bucket, you don't have that. You need to configure extra thing. So what my objective was here to tell you is, when in the resource block, you will have some kind of arguments, which arguments to be passed in that same resource level here. You go to the resource, you will have in the arguments, you have to give this. Only this will be valid. You cannot give any other than these arguments. That is the one thing you have to keep it. Inside resource, that block is called argument block. Very important. Obviously, any resource in the cloud will have this block. Majority resources will have tags, right? This can be like, it's up to you. Name, blah, blah, any names you can give it. This is the one. Let me give, for example, demo. String EF. That's okay. Don't care about these names. So what my objective was to tell here is, inside, when you say resource, that is meant to, resource is to create. To create this, to create the to create or update or to delete also. Resource means it will do. And then inside this resource block, that components called arguments. Arguments are called inputs. Inputs. This is a very important keyword you should know. Resource block is to create or update or delete, and arguments to pass the inputs. Which name, which key and all, it will be available in that same page, in this page. Now, let me take one more example. EC2. Instance. Copy these lines. Go to the EC2 file. Can I club all together one file? Yes, you can club. But what we do is, to get the naming convention easy to separately, we create a separate files. You can club together one file also. That's not a problem here. So by seeing this, you should know that resource block is to create or update something. This is the mandatory syntax. This is the by seeing it, it is going to interact with EC2 AWS underscore instance. You see, right? By seeing it, it is interacting with S3. This is the provider resource name. You can see that. And this is the logical name. You can go with your own name. Like, for example, Apache. You can go with this name. And you know, right? Please help me here. Let me put in a here to create EC2. What steps did you follow when you're creating EC2 mission, right? What step did you follow in the console?
First, we have to select the AMI. Yeah, then we have to give our
instance type
and PEM. And we have to select our security groups like network, like our own VPC or like default VPC and security groups.
And one more, if you remember, we'll be giving at the
Tags.
tags also. Obviously, one more is somewhere we'll select this one also, no? Zone. Then
Yeah.
what is called?
Subnet.
Subnet. So these
If
are all,
possible,
sorry?
if possible, we use user data also, right?
Yeah. Let's get it. User data also. Yeah. So this is the resource. All these are all called arguments. All these are called arguments. Now you see, right? AMI something. And can you see, please, These two keywords, if you are able to understand Terraform, majority things are done. Remaining all are like just little logic only. Resource is to create. Region, did you create, or zone, did you create, already exist?
Already exists.
Already exist. And then already exist. Keep this logic, okay? There are some resources, not some, we create. There are some resources already exist. For example, already existed one examples are called region, zone, or some AMIs also. There are some AMIs already exist, right? Already exist.
Right.
Default, we can create our own AMI. To create my own AMI, which block I need to go? Resource. That's it again. But already there is a resource exist. Resource exist. To get those existed resources, we use a block called data source. This is the block, data source. Two keywords I'm telling it right now. Resource and one more, data source.
Data source.
Data source is to get
Exist.
resources info. By default, region will be there, zone will be there, and one more AMS will be there. Let's say, for example, you will create a security group. Already it is there in the console. Now you want to get that information. You can use which concept you can use?
Data source.
Data source for existing resources, not only for region, zone. Any resource in the cloud, if it is there, you want to get that into Terraform code. Get into the Terraform code in the sense, I want to use that, not to track, I want to use that information. Then I use a keyword called data source. One of the interview question you will get it is difference between
Source and resource and data source.
Data source. Wherever you see, right, data means like
Which exist.
blah, 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 something. What does that mean? They are getting some information from AWS console, like internally from AWS, existing resource information. By seeing this, you can come to know. They're getting blah, blah, something, data dot, some AMI, blah, blah, something. What is that meaning? There is a resource exist. Any queries, questions you want to ask? Two things, resource will have arguments. Data source, to get that. Data source doesn't create anything. It doesn't do. Just read only. Cool. Any thoughts, questions you want to ask on it? Good. So let me go here. Please observe here. I'm searching here S3 name. I'm searching a name S3 in this. This is a single page. Every not only like the 10 years experience or like something. Everyone will come here to get some snippet code. Then we change according to our need. I did search here S3. If you go here now, what is this block? This is the total section. They have all resources information, and then it is filtering it S3. It is filtering. There is a resource. And let me. Oh my gosh, why it is not? Okay. I'm clicking here, it is not going. That's okay. Let me remove it. I'll go direct to S3. Oh my gosh, something problem. What I want to show is the below resource, there will be data source. By default, every resource will have a resource plus data source. Okay. Yeah, you see, right? This is the dismiss. This is the block to create resource, to create it, and then below you will have a data source. If it is already S3 bucket, I want to call that bucket name or some kind of property into my Terraform code. I will use which block? Data source block. Let's see. Click on it. See here. This is what it is saying it. Data. So there is a bucket already existed. That bucket name I can use in my Terraform code somewhere. That is very important. Cool. Two things. Resource will have arguments and then create, update, delete kind of purpose, and data only to get that. Data doesn't delete anything. So now See here, please, if you are two things, one I told resource and data source. This is the another thing. If you decode, like majority Terraform code is done. If you are able to decode, that's it. Only the most critical component, this one. Let me get it. Let me go for here, EC2. Instance. Let me copy this total value. Obviously, you need all these properties, arguments. Let me do here. We don't manually, like we don't go to the AWS console, we don't get that values. We will see for now, but you see, right? Please observe here. As you said, to create EC2, you need a AMI. This Terraform code, what it is doing, it is calling existing data source. There is already AMI is there in the AWS console. It is getting it. Please observe here. There is something, data dot. Let me keep it here. This is the resource block. Resource block will have some kind of name, and then the logical name, provider, and then the resource name, and then the logical name. Logical name. This we will see. And then you will have it inside this. Can you guys help me? What is this inside block called?
Argument.
Yeah. Arguments. And then, for example, data. You will have something again, that existing block. Provider underscore same resource name. And this will be your logical name, any name. Like, for example, exist name. And then here also you will have some kind of, inside this also you will have arguments. We will have arguments, and we will have some kind of filters also. Okay. Now, here data is like, I'm for EC2 mission, right? You need a AMI. To get the existing AMI in Terraform code, as I said, we use a data source block, data block. This data block, please, if you are able to decode, this is done. This concept is called what I'm going to do, something called interpolation. Interpolation means there is existing resources, I got it, I'll get it. Then this name I need to pass as an argument here, as an input here. So there is an AMI exists in AWS console. I will get into the Terraform code. I will pass this to EC2 creation block. To do that, let's say, for example, let me do, bear with me for some time, AWS underscore instance. And this is like Apache. Apache. This is how. Which resource I'm going to create? AWS instance. Please, when you say in the interview, right, you should know this. At least you will say that I created EC2 mission. You should know that by heart at this guy. Now, AMI. I can go to the AWS console. I can get it. The AMI ID, one option. I can go to AWS console, EC2. Can we have same AMI across multiple regions? Can we have our own AMI?
Yes, we have.
We can copy AMI is regional or global?
Global.
Our own AMI, for example.
Global only.
When you create AMI, it will be in region, but you can copy to any region.
Right.
Yeah. So let me go for AMIs here. Something. There will be like public, private, shared AMIs, multiple will be there. Private images. From here also, sorry, public images. You can get it from here also, AMIs. The other place is whenever you're creating EC2, right? Launch instance. So you will be asked this kind of question multiple times, please, what I'm telling it. in the real time also, like in the project also, you will have the same ID. You can get it the same ID. This is the AMI blah blah number. Yeah, somewhere I can copy. Can I copy this content? Yeah. This is the AMI ID. Where is this? I can say here like this AMI ID. What I'm doing here, this is like if you do multiple times the supply and all, right? Same AMI will go. Same AMI will be going here. You getting what I mean? If you apply this Terraform code, right? You use 10 times also, 10 times also, same AMI will be used. But keep this. I don't want to use this AMI hard coded here like this. I want to get it dynamically existing one. To get that dynamically existing resource, I use a block called data. As I said, AWS underscore AMI. Let's say, for example, existing. Here I will pass some filters here. Here I'll pass it. To get that existing AMI filters, right? Take the same ID. Which architecture it is here? It is showing, right?
Yeah, 64.
64. I will pass some kind of like these parameters. To when I pass extra like these parameters, right? Like HVM, like EBS volume, some kind of, if I pass extra filters, right? I will get this AMID, existing AMID. That data source block will get for me. That is what here. This is AWS AMI. Let's say that Amazon Linux, and say that. And then let me go to this page, separately, AMI page. Yeah, here put that AMI. See here, most recent, true. Like select this one, you will get to know majority property. Select this one. Here I'm passing some of all these parameters. All these parameters I'm passing here. I'm doing filter with the name. Somewhere this name will be there. This kind of thing. This is the kind of somewhere this source. This is the one. And then virtualization type. If you go below, right, this is the HVM. And then the owner. Somewhere account owner will be there. Copy this guy. Replace it here. And then values. Get this guy. Here. You can do star also. That can be done. Hyphen star also you can do. No problem. Filter name, virtualization type in this account. So whenever this Terraform code block goes to my AWS account, it will search the AMIs. In this AMI, whatever the matching these filters, for that it will return one. For EC2 mission, what do you need to pass to create a EC2 mission? What are you passing here?
AMI.
AMI. To create this, I need to get this AMI ID, right? So who is giving AMI ID? I can hard code also, but hard code is not the good option. Why? I'll tell you why I told most recent. Listen this. Every month we will be releasing new AMIs in the companies. Some companies they'll release every 2 months. If it is a very big company, good security company, right? They will be releasing AMIs. Why they'll release it? Previous AMIs will be some security vulnerable, some security, somewhere breach or something. The security practice they'll follow some cycle they'll release that AMI. That AMI will be most recent, latest AMI. It will look the time. Let's say if you have multiple AMIs, it will look for time. What is available the time here? Latest. It will look for the latest time, recent time. Look for the time, created time. Yeah. In this, it will fetch this latest AMI ID. It will fetch that with that matching it. So automatically that AMI ID will come. You will have a lot of AMIs in this with this matching pattern name. Whatever the recently created AMI, it will get it that AMI ID. It will give it here. It will pass it here. Please, to pass this AMI, right? As I said, you can hard code also. Instead of hard code, right? we will call like this. Can you guys help me? What this data block does?
It will give the recent AMI.
Existing.
Yeah, AMI ID it will return. This AMI ID you need to pass to one block right here. Which block you have to pass? You
Data.
need somewhere AMI ID na here. Two blocks are there. One is the resource block, one is the data block.
Resource block we need to pass it, right, sir?
You have to pass the resource block.
This block. Yeah.
Yeah. How we pass is like this. Data dot this name dot. This is one of the second part of the Terraform. One is two things, resource and Terraform. Sorry, resource block and data source. And then how to call value from one block to another block. This is the one. And then this provider underscore resource name dot existing name, and then the ID blah blah like this ID or something called the name or something like you will have a ARN like this. We will pass lot of multiple of lot of we will pass. Who is giving this? From where you are getting this is from this block. Please.
It means again it's a data source, right?
Yeah, this is calling internally, right? This resource will call this block by seeing it, by seeing it. Hey, somewhere there is a block. Yesterday I was telling you, right? Terraform will understand very intellective. So when you see this, right? Terraform, whenever it scans the code, first it will go to this block again immediately. It will go to this block. From here it will get this value, and then it will map it here.
Understand.
Yeah. So very important, how to call values in TF. Values in the sense one block to like, for example, one resource is there in resource, as I said, one resource one, for example, here is the resource one. Resource, for example, AWS underscore security group. And here is the, let me say that, Apache security group. Okay. Here is the one security. This is the resource is going to create security group. And here is one more resource, AWS underscore instance web server. And here is one more data, AWS underscore AMI. Yeah, Amazon. This can be any name. This can be, you can pick any name, but you can't pick this one. This is the by default, the HashiCorp code will give you. Here we will apply some kind of filters like the account, most recent and all. From this, I will get an output. This output I have to pass it in this arguments, AMI. And you remember, for EC2 creation, you guys were telling na, you need a one guy also. What is this guy? Security group. Here, where is the security group is in this block. In this block, it is creating. So I need to pass this block also as an input here. This block is also an input here. So let me tell you how this block, this is called interpolation. This name, data dot major dot ID or something. ID or name or year and blah blah. We will see this thing. Okay, this is the, from where you got this ID, from which block among these three?
Data source. Data.
So this is giving some output to you. This output you are passing here, right? This, whatever the block is giving output, that outputs are called attributes. Outputs are called attributes. Simple rule. Inputs are called arguments. That is the one. Now, I need to call one more security group also here. Where is the security group creation? 1, 2, 3.
First one, the resource.
Now I need to call this block to here, right? Same formula. However you followed, right? Instead of data block,
resource.
You can use it. Now, no, I need to, there, here what this code does, right? It will create a security group and then it will reference here. Let me do that. Resource dot.
AWS security group.
This is how you have to do. Dot this name. Name dot ID or ARN, whatever that attribute, whatever that block will give, this block will give an attribute. That is the one. Here it will create. Now let's say, for example, here is the question. I don't want to create a security group. Already one security group is there. I want to get that. Let me copy.
You have to use data.
That's it. Exactly. Yeah. Here, I don't have the, here what I'll do, I'll copy paste a simple kind of example, something here. Here I'll say that data underscore group. And then some kind of, let's say for example, Apache, something. Yes. Can you guys tell me here how this guy will become now?
Need to change resource to data.
Yeah. In Terraform code, right? If you want to comment something not to execute, put a hash. That will be the comment. Now this block will, can you guys help me here? How it will
Data.
That's it. Any thoughts, questions you want to ask? What is resource? What is data source? How to call one block to another block? Any thoughts you want to ask on it? Cool. So here you see, right? The block. So this block, what it is doing, it is going to my account. It will go to that when I do Terraform related commands, it will go to that account. It will filter the AMID. This AMID will return here. Can you guys correct this code according to that above? What type? Can you correct this code? What to be corrected here?
Down resource we have to change AWS AMI Ubuntu to.
This one here. What to be changed here in this?
We have to change Amazon, Ubuntu to Amazon.
Yeah. Because this is in AWS. Some blocks, which one to go use data source, it will come little like when you do more answer, right? You will get it that thing. Now instance type, let it go with the T2 micro. I'll go with the T2 micro. Cool. So this is how we'll see the security group under the keys, whatever you did in the console, right? We will see them. This is a simple snippet we prepared. One is the resource block to create, one is the data block to get the data, and then one more S3 also to create some kind of bucket. These are the things. Here is my Terraform code. Okay. So let me go in the command line. You should be in that same folder wherever your Terraform code is there. You should be in the same folder. Terraform you should have already. And then the first command we does is the init. This is the command we use it, init command. What this init command does, it will scan your code. It will scan your code. And then it will find that provider. Which provider you are interacting. It will see here which provider here. Which provider we are using here? Provider in the sense cloud or something like which resource you are interacting, AWS. Behind what it does, when you run this command, it will scan your Terraform code. According to that provider, it will download behind one Go plugin, Go language plugin. It will download, it will keep in this local folder. It will keep in that folder. It will download a plugin. That plugin has been developed in the Go language. That plugin is the responsible for you to create all your Terraform code into the API again. That in it. You see here, it is scanning your code. It found that there is some kind of plugin. I mean, the provider you are using. The provider is nothing but AWS provider. It is downloading that provider. It will go to the HashiCorp website. It will download one file. It will keep in our local folder. Observe here. Which files we created previously?
EC2 and S3.
See, you got extra files right here.
Yeah.
Terraform lock HCL and so sometimes they'll ask you what is this lock HCL is. some MD hashes saying that you downloaded one plugin, that plugin is matching this hash. This has not been not been modified by no one outside. Like while downloading it, correct file has been downloaded. That is the hash it will check internally. Okay. Now check it here. This is the plugin. This is not the code something. This is the Go language based plugin. This is the one. So you got two folders. Sorry, two things. One is the log.html and another is the plugin. This is called plugin.
Terraform.
Yeah. One of your interview question, the last you, this is the this Terraform init does. Terraform init does is scans the EF code and finds the providers and downloads plugins. Now, next. From that folder only. Next, usually what we do, anytime thumb rule, if you have the TF code, first command you have to do is the mandatory first command is that init, Terraform init. Otherwise, next commands you cannot run directly. First command you have to do is init is mandatory. Next.
So whenever
usually,
we do code
yeah.
changes, we have to do init, or one time we have to do init?
One time.
Okay.
One time. Because as you have this file, right, in your local folder, that is the first time. Next time onwards, no need to init it.
If I create one more .tf, then again I have to do init, right?
No need. Already you have the in your local folder, already you have, right?
Okay.
As soon as this folder is there, like in your local, right? If this folder is, sorry, that is a hidden folder. To get the hidden folders, right, you have to do A.
Okay.
As this folder is there, as fine, no need to do this. Next time in your, let's say you created next folder, there you have to do again. This folder is the one, we'll do init help next time onwards. Next, Terraform. So usually, right, after init, the majority times we run a one command to see the Terraform plan.
No, is that exe is mandatory to
No,
execute?
automatically that the command line is taking that automatically.
Okay, sure.
My exe, right, when I type T thing, that is automatically prompting it. Cool.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. So you see right here, usually, right, plan is the just to check it dry run. This is the mandatory habit. When I'm creating any time, right, first always we check the plan, and then it will tell you like how many number of is getting added. If there is any modification, is there any something destroy? Please always look on this destroy number. So this is the keyword. So this is plan. This is going to add one and then change something and all here. So here there is, I think, some issue with our Terraform code block, I think. Because of that, it is throwing an error. Your code need nothing, no results. Okay, that we'll see. So when you do Terraform, right? When you see plus symbol, that is meaning it is going to create. Somewhere you will see minus, that is going to remove, destroy. When you see like a tilde symbol, you will see somewhere else tilde symbol, that is going to something change. That's what it is meaning it. Okay. Terraform plan. To see what resources are getting created or updated or destroyed. At the end, you have to see this number. This is very important. How many numbers are coming under this thing. So the first command is init. Next is the plan. Next command is the Terraform apply. This Terraform apply is the one. We'll take your code. Let me take this. I'll take this. Some syntax error somewhere. Let me comment out this block for now. I'll combine it. So Terraform apply, run it. It will show you again the same output of the plan, and then it will ask you yes or no, whether you want to go or not. You see here, run. Again, it is showing that Terraform This is the plan. And then here again, this how many getting added? 0, nothing, change something. It will ask you yes or no something. So without yes or no, let me put it again. What Terraform apply? This command really creates resources. Can you guys help me? From now, if I run the apply, it will create resource in my AWS account. It will create this account. Sorry, this will create in this bucket. Okay. This is not the bucket name. This is the logical name only. This is the inside argument. Whatever the name goes, that is the original bucket name. Keep it. It will create now. Bucket name it will create. From where it is authenticating? Which account? It will create S3 bucket. If I apply this Terraform, if I say yes, from where it is fetching the credentials? Which account?
So which we have given right now, the configuration, we have given the security access key, right?
In which folder?
.home directory.
.aws.
Yeah, these are the basics. You should have it. That's what we expect in the core knowledge. That is the core knowledge we. If you are able to understand that, yes. When you do any command, right? Terraform plan, something apply. Internally, it is picking from where? Under AWS, these credentials. Credentials, and then what is that? By default, what is this? Config. In these credentials, you will have a profiles, right? Profile in the sense account 2, account 1. By default, it will pick this profile. Which profile? Default profile. By default, it will pick it. Now I need to pick another account. Then in the Terraform code, you need to say that profile equal to that name, matching name. You have to do that. Okay. So I can apply it. For now, let me say no. Let me cancel it. So you know Terraform init, plan, apply. There are some more commands usually we do like to check the syntax. Normal, this is for syntax only, like whether Terraform code syntax is correct or not. Validate. Just this is to check the syntax all correct or not. There is one more. This is the one. Let me go here. S3. Let's say, for example, I did like this, not space properly syntax. That no proper alignment of my code. There is one thing called just for like normally we use regularly. I mean to say, not in the interview point of view, just FMT if you do right format, it does that alignment properly. Can you see here? It made the code like the equal something. This is the one. So I mean to say why I'm telling it. Some people, right, they'll be very strict when you are merging the code. When you update this code, right, when you send someone to review, they'll ask you all these things. So in your code, run these commands, validate, FMT, format and all. That does proper validation and then does it. FMT, Terraform. These two for syntax check. Cool. So let's apply this one. You have to do yes or no again. Terraform apply mandatory needed, yes or no? Do yes. That's it. Now see here, go to the console. See here, your account has been created. Sorry, the bucket has been created, this bucket. That's for this. Now let's again apply second time. In the same folder. I have not updated any code. What it is saying? you have not modified the code. Your code you have not modified. And in AWS account, that resource also not modified anything. There is no changes. There is no difference. There is no drift. No drift in between those anything. Undo plan also again. See again, it is saying there is no changes. Can you guys tell me what were the files we created in the current folder? You remember?
ec2.tf and s3.tf.
Okay, s3.tf was there, and one more ec2.tf.
TF.
And one more one folder came now after you ran
.terraform.
HCL. Yeah.
Terra.
Terraform.
And one more was there, right? What was that?
.terraform.hcl.
.log .hcl. This will have some kind of hashing thing saying that this is the correct one. No one has been modified. That is the correct one I had given. That is the one hashing thing. Let's see that what were there. One extra file created after thing.
TF state.
You see right here, TF state. Very important file, this one. You remember I told in S3, we will enable for versioning, right? One time. We no need to enable for all of them versioning if you're doing S3 backup and alert. Usually, thumb rule is if you are using cloud, we will store this TF state in S3 bucket. And for that S3 bucket, enable versioning. TF state. Where do we store TF state? Right now, where is it? It is in my local for now, but I will move this TF state into thumb rule. We have to store in S3 bucket. And then for that bucket, enable what is mandatory, enable what is this? Versioning. Mandate you have to enable. This is a very critical file, TF state file. Terraform.tf state. This is the one I'm doing apply, right? Terraform apply second time. The Terraform apply command, taking this total input, it is comparing again. Is there any modification, something? When you do next time plan also, this Terraform code will take this file as, it will compare with the target resource. This file, the target resources, if there is no change, this is called metadata, all your S3 bucket information. Whatever you see in the console, right? All that information will be there here, something. So when you get apply, so when you get TF state, after you get apply.
Apply.
So we shouldn't lose one file, very important file. Which file you shouldn't lose? TF state.
.tf state.
It will be disaster if you lose this file. You shouldn't corrupt this file. We don't touch manually this file until we have very expert knowledge in the TF state. I mean the TF.
So whenever I apply, it will create and whenever I do that, I have to move the TF state file to S3 bucket every time, or like how it is?
No, automatically that we will do that.
Okay.
Right now it is in my local, right? It is in my local. To send it to S3, you have to do something, configuration.
Understand. Yeah.
You have to do some configuration. We will send from here to here. That is. But in the in the original project, TF state file, you have to. What happens now? Let's say I applied in my laptop. TF state is in my laptop. My laptop corrupted it, or I left company. My laptop formatted it. Whatever you created that resources, right? They are no clueless now. That we will see. That's what you remember I was telling. You can create resources with Python, with Java, with .NET, with Ansible, with the CloudFormation, but they don't track your information, which has been created. Is there any modification? They don't track, but Terraform will track that your resource information with this TF state file.
Yeah,
it will track. Yeah, cool. So let me pass it for today here. Can you guys help me here with the review? So my objective for tomorrow, so we'll create EC2 related components and then Apache related blah, blah, and then we will apply. We will create load balancer concepts. We will attach those all with the Terraform code. So Sabka Malikek, this is the single page. This is the one I'll use regularly. This is the one. I want to create anything, copy paste. You see, right? I modified it. So for few days, we'll get habituated on this website. Yeah. Can you guys help me?
Yeah, we have learned about AWS configuration. CLI configuration.
Configure.
Configure profiles by
Profiles
using
will-
multiple accounts.
Yeah. Multiple accounts or multi-user something. Yeah. One more dot.
AWS folder importance.
Yeah.
Mm. Visual Studio installation.
Yeah. IDE, that is called IDE.
Yeah.
We call VS Code usually. And one more AWS tool. Let me put it here easily. Tools. Please, I'm telling it, no one will tell you that what tools you have to, by default, you should have all this. When you join a project, install all this. If you have permission issue, raise a support ticket. Don't wait till that someone come to you. Yeah. In TF code, you know the importance of resource block. Insert resource, what will be there?
Arguments.
After you apply, you will get
Attributes.
these are called
Outputs.
outputs. And one more block is called
Data
yeah. And one more concept is called
interpolation.
Interpolation.
interpolation, like this, that data block name dot some kind of data. This is the provider name dot logical name dot attributes. This can be examples. This can be like this. One more. It can be like this. Yeah. Cool. So we'll pass it for today here. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anna?
It's in progress. It's in progress already. If you are asking about videos.
Anna?
Sir, notes